Hey, Perfect Spirit. It's Superhero Sunday, and I'm your host, Sam Shelley, and they call me the Miracle Man. So today we're going to talk about spiritual bankruptcy. Before I get into that, it's Superhero Sunday because within you is a superhero. It's called Perfect Spirit. And when you have Perfect Spirit, you can do anything, that everything becomes possible. So let's look at spiritual bankruptcy now. I just talked about this in my Facebook group. I didn't really like that video. I guess I still have some head trash up here judging that video, but I felt I could do a more powerful, stronger job here to talking about spiritual bankruptcy for Superhero Sunday. So spiritual bankruptcy is when you're in a place of despair, deep depression. You're just wondering what else is going to go wrong in your life, that nothing is working out, and you're completely lost up in here. It's like you're possessed by the mind. You're so caught in this loop that you can't see your light. It's actually what I call the dark night of the mind, and it's mental possession, if you will. It's like, oh, this isn't working. This life is too difficult. Why do I keep going on? And it's really that darkness that you feel like you're all alone in the world because you don't realize that you're connected to all that is. And it's not you can just like snap out of it or just let it go. That's a mistake. If you're feeling really spiritually bankrupt, you're not going to be able to just snap out of it. And if it's really bad, you need somebody around you that can ground you back into the present moment. You know, like where are your feet, where are your hands, to realize you're either up here in the story or here in this moment. You can't be here and here at the same time. It doesn't work. Because this conscious mind is a serial processor. The conscious mind cannot multitask. If you're convinced you can multitask, on one side of you, write your name and address. On the other side, read a book. You can't write and read at the same time. It doesn't work. So that's true multitasking if you could read and write at the same time and be fully focused. But your mind can switch tasks very quickly, but you can't do both. So if you're feeling spiritually bankrupt, it's really about learning to get into this moment. That's why I really recommend people learn techniques to get rid of their head trash before a life situation occurs, a life challenge where all you know is this up here. It's like preventive medicine, that you know how to get yourself back into the present moment, because life is constantly throwing challenges at you. Because you get through one challenge, then another challenge appears, then another challenge, then another challenge, and then another challenge. Because that's the way life works. Because we're here to have these human experiences. We're here for our soul to grow, to expand. And these human experiences allow that to happen. If there was no human experience, there'd be no growth. So it's great that you're having all these experiences, but you want to learn from these experiences. You don't say, oh no, what's going on again? Why this again? Why this again? Why this again? Because it keeps repeating until you step back and say, oh, I see what I'm meant to learn from this. That there are no mistakes in the universe. There's something to learn in each moment, each experience. But we're so caught up in this mental possession, we become spiritually bankrupt that we forget that we are spirit. So find someone, if you're caught up in here, find someone that can get you back into this moment. It's like the movie Peaceful Warrior. The student and the teacher walking down this path, and on the right side is this little pond. Well, the student keeps going on about his story, what's going on and on and on. He just keeps relaying the story. And once again, if you're in the story, you're not here. So what the teacher does is pushes them into the water. It snaps them back into this moment, because this moment is where all of our power is. If you're up here in the mind, you're in a disempowered state. Because you can remember, in the mind or here, you can't be both places. If you're up in here in the mind, you're going to feel empty, depleted, spiritually bankrupt. So how are you getting yourself back into this moment, right here, right now? Because this is all that exists. No matter how much you believe your thoughts to be true, they are not the truth. As they say in the Tao that can be spoken is not the great Tao. or the truth that can be spoken is not the great truth. And you can look at this throughout the human history. What they considered a fact one time, a scientific fact, or maybe not even scientific, but a fact at that time, was later disproven. We're seeing that all the time. Well, like they thought at one point, that the Earth was the center of the universe, that everything rotated around the Earth. That was more driven around, religious society than the true scientists. Because some true people knew that we weren't the center of the universe, but they couldn't speak out, or they would be, killed, burned for hearsay, because the church was the ruling authority at that time. But there's lots of things that we were taught as facts was later to be proven wrong. So you can't say, facts are just information. They're not the absolute truth, because the absolute truth is the perfect spirit, that witness within you. So just realize you just can't snap out of this sometimes. Sometimes it really grabs you. So what I suggest right today is take 2 minutes and say, okay, my mind's going into a story. Where are my feet? Where are my hands? What am I touching? And just get yourself out of the story, back into this moment. Into the story, back into this moment. Just a few minutes of doing that. It may be boring, but if you keep doing that, you're putting gaps into the thought stream. So this mind is a constant stream of thoughts. And anytime you put gaps into that thought stream, you're learning to keep yourself present. And when you're present, you're fully here in your power, your strength. So you are the superhero. Nothing outside of you is your superhero. You are it, your perfect spirit. But then you have to learn to discern what is your own inner voice, your true self, your inner self saying versus what the mind is saying. That's the skill of discernment. So your intuitive self will just say, drink water. And the mind will say, you need to drink water, and start listing out all the benefits. Stay hydrated. You need it for this. You need it for that. It'll give you like a list of excuses why you need to do something. Spirit is just really short and concise with a message. 2-3 words at most, but it's very concise. So that's why I really want to talk about that spiritual bankruptcy. I was in that place of despair in my 20s and then again in my 30s, where I didn't realize I had the power and strength within me, that the outside world couldn't dictate my reality unless I gave that power away. And I constantly gave my power away. I wasn't tuned into me. Well, that's really the message that I wanted to share today, that usually I talk for 8 to 10 minutes. And then I want to take questions from the group, in this case, the Head Trash Anonymous Facebook group. So this is basically the talk that I gave today. And then I just want to take questions, but my video, it just didn't come out quite right today. I guess it's this noise up here saying it could be better, it could be more concise. So I'm trying to make it more concise here, you could say. I get a little distracted because the Facebook Live interface drives me crazy. But this is good. All right. Well, take good care of yourself, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye for now.